Good afternoon, everyone. Congratulations once again to all the award winners, and what a day it has been. We learned about various aspects of inclusion and diversity. We dwelled into deeper aspects of it, and the journey continues. Very happy to be here to represent Owens Corning and share our inclusion and diversity journey. Joining me on stage is my colleague Shilpika Jain, and in the audience we have Vinod Kale and Dinesh, Mukta Vishramram and Mr. Sanjay Rao. As I move forward, let me talk a bit about our company. Owens Corning, we are a global building and construction material leader with a mission to build a sustainable future to material innovations. An organization which is global in scale but human in scope. We have more than 20,000 employees working in this organization. We have our operations present in 33 countries with 100 plus manufacturing facilities. There are 3 business verticals in which we operate globally: roofing, insulation and composites. We have been, as a responsible corporate, progressing on our sustainability journey over last 2 decades. We have made phenomenal progress on it, and as a part of our sustainability commitment, we have outlined a roadmap for 2030. That roadmap is built on an aspect that in the end, towards that journey, we want to be a company which is a net positive company. That's our aspiration. When I say net positive company, we want to give back to nature that more than what we consume from the nature. That's our aspiration. And this aspiration is built on the 5 pillars. One among them is advancing on our inclusion and diversity agenda. As a global enterprise, we continue to challenge our established processes, practices and policies, benchmarking ourselves with the best in the class companies, and in that process, we share, we learn. Happy to share, as a part of that journey, there has been various recognitions which has been bestowed to us. Few with the agenda we have for the day would be of interest for this audience, being recognized as one of the best places to work for the LGBTQ community, and at the same time, a company by Ethosphere being ranked as one of the most ethical company to work for. From Diversity Inc., we continue to be listed as a company who is very aggressively driving the inclusion and diversity agenda. With this, I invite Shilpika for the next slide.
Thank you so much, Abhijeet. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so honored and delighted to be in front of you today in this beautiful audience and be able to share our Owens Corning India's journey in inclusion. Though we are still nascent in our R&D space in India, but this is something, it's an interesting story about Owens Corning India. So before I move on to the story, a quick question to the beautiful audience here. Since morning, we've been hearing about D&I, DE&I, diversity and inclusion from various panelists. Why do you think on the screen up there you see inclusion and diversity? That's IND and not D&I. So your views and perspectives on this, please. Yes?
What I feel is that without the inclusion, diversity remains unsuccessful because we have policies in place, but how well they are able to implement it is what matters at the end. See, we are hiring women, but if there is an environment which says only because you are a woman, you were hired. So that doesn't serve the purpose. So I believe that is the reason why it's inclusion and diversity.
Absolutely right. Your name, please, ma'am?
Sneha Kamath.
Thank you, Sneha. That was a beautiful answer. A round of applause to her. I'll share Owens Corning's perspective with you also. So Owens Corning, inclusion and diversity are both very strong pillars of building a high-performing organization and a culture. As an Owens Corning organization, we believe that building an inclusive workforce drives in diversity, which basically helps in building a bias-free employee experience, having a culture of appreciation in the organization, which helps all our employees flourish. And that is also the vision of OC India in terms of I&D. Moving on, I'll start with my, So a little about Owens Corning and its presence in India. So we came in India in 1997 as a greenfield project in the Taloja district of Maharashtra. We started with the components business. In 2017, we took over the Interap company and their roofing business in the Silvassa district. Even though we are a manufacturing organization, I can proudly claim and share that we operate in an injury-free environment, which is basically due to our manufacturing excellence practices, which comes across through our TPM ways of working, which is spread across the levels, across the globe in Owens Corning and India too. This was a vision which I just shared with you in the previous slide about the very interesting story of Owens Corning, especially about women in operations or manufacturing. So I shared that we established ourselves in 1997, right? Till 2016, we didn't have a single female employee at the operations. And I think it's surprising for such a big multinational to not be able to step into this space of R&D. 2016, we hired the first female employee. You can see a picture up there. She was the first female employee to be hired at the plant level. Come 2018, we got an opportunity to have a brownfield project in our organization, the Taloja plant, an expansion project, which gave us an opportunity to embrace a lot of progressive manufacturing practices, including diversity. And how did we do that? We brought in the recruitment strategy of hiring female talent in operations. So, 1997, 0 female talent in operations. 2016, the first female employee. 2018, we joined the bandwagon, the drive. And 2020, we crossed the 100 female employee mark in the organization, which was a huge feat for us. It wasn't easy, my friends. It was a very difficult task. It is a male-dominated plant, my dear friends. Imagine there, I remember those days, we had a lot of focus group discussions, a lot of alignments, amalgamation of thoughts, all the functional leaders, there was a lot of opposition. But yes, after meetings and discussions and the benefits of diversity explaining that, we reached to this level. A unique thing which helped us here was when we joined this journey or started this journey, we did not earmark roles specifically for female talent. We did the reverse way. We opened up all the roles for female talent in operations, and that's what helped us. Another thing which we realized during the journey was that R&D is not just the responsibility of HR. It has to be top-driven. It has to be at all levels, starting from leadership, middle management, across functional functions, across departments. And that helped us build the accountability and ownership in the organization. And that's how you see our target is to reach to a 25% by 2025. So I spoke about women in operations, which is basically focusing on gender diversity, right? But as a responsible organization, we acknowledge all other forms of diversity, be it socioeconomic status, be it geographic location, languages, talent, skills, generation, a huge thing, be it physical abilities, race, and so many more. So as an organization, as Owens Corning, we accept all these diversities, all these forms, we acknowledge them, recognize them, so that each one of them, each employee when comes in the organization feels valued, heard, and appreciated. This builds the culture of having a cultural add rather than a cultural fit in the organization, which helped us in this R&D agenda. So you can see our R&D aspirations are, we want to be, so currently we are focused more at the shop floor level. Our majority of female employees are in operations, which the story is all about. And by 2025, we want to have it across the levels in the organization, starting at leadership, middle management, operations also, and also expand it to other sectors of diversity, other forms of diversity. This is one question where most of our HR leaders here would have heard in this organization. Why is I&D important? Why do we need inclusion and diversity in the organization? I'll share, I'm sure you have your answers and perspectives. I'll share with you Owens Corning's idea about it. High-performing organization or high-performing work environment is delivered by high-performing teams. And who are these high-performing teams, and how do they become high-performing teams? They are all the engaged and the inclusive workforce which finally turn into high-performing teams. And why are they engaged and inclusive? Because they feel appreciated, they feel valued, they know that when they come in the organization, they can be their true self. And that is the mantra for our success in this space of I&D. So you can see that all Owens Corning employees are heard, appreciated for the value each distinct voice brings to the team. And this hasn't been a one-day job, my dear friends. It's been through a series of sessions, workshops on courageous conversations, building inclusive leadership traits across the organization, helping them understand what inclusion and diversity is all about, and that's how we've reached this space. I would invite Abhijeet to share about our I&D best practices. Over to you.
Friends, at Owens Corning, we have been embracing diversity and inclusion the way we were aware about it. But this journey got more structured, more focused, and accelerated in 2017 when our chairman and CEO, along with 450 business leaders globally, took a pledge to promote inclusion and diversity in the organization. And that's where it got more focused, more structured. With this, globally, organization-wide, we had multiple awareness sensitization sessions, followed by a pledge with a commitment to build a more inclusive and diverse organization. As a part of this, leveraging our global presence, we have multiple employee resource group or FATT councils, as we term them, which allows people to come together, collaborate, share, and build up and bring those ideas which would help in creating more inclusive work culture. We do have a global I&D council, and we, as we operate in a structure where we have presence in 3 geographies. It's Americas, it's Europe, and AP structure. So we have also an I&D council which is for the AP region, and then at the plant level we have our steering committees which help us to drive the I&D agendas. I would also like to give one example about beyond what is shared by Shilpika over here. One example I'd like to quote, which is about interfaith exchange. So we have people from various countries working in the organization, and people follow multiple faiths or are from various religious background. Allowing these people to share, talk more about their faith, about their religion, allowed them to bring their true self at work, talk what's holding them back about their fears, and this led to something what we call a courageous conversation. It allowed people to share about it, be more vocal about it, and it led to creating more and more inclusive work environment. As we talk on inclusion, being an inclusive organization, talking about it will build more awareness, but it will not build a diverse organization unless we act upon it. Actions would follow only through recruitment. That's what we firmly believe. So as a part of our recruitment strategy, we are focused where, be it a replacement position or a new position, we strongly encourage to have a diversity candidate in the finalist panel. So one of the candidate amongst the final candidates which are presented to the for selection would be a diversity talent. What's helping us? Our world-class manufacturing facilities, injury-free organization, and wellness initiatives are the big enablers where we are attracting this talent. The stickiness factor is being ensured. While somebody like said, we hire in dozen, but people also live in dozen. That's not happening in our case. We are able to retain the diversity talent which we are attracting. One another initiative which is taken is about early career, like she spoke. As a 2025 aspiration, it's not only at women in operations, we are looking at building, having a diverse talent across the organization. So attracting talent through early career program, building a talent at the mid-management, a talent pipeline at the mid-management, and building a future generation leaders. That's what we are, that's the journey we are into. At the same time, we are committed to support the existing talent through various mentoring and coaching programs. Our journey is not limited only to the organizations, but as a part of our CSR in the communities where we work, we are also embedded IND as a part of our CSR agenda, where we are supporting women empowerment in the community by various vocational training, and we are also investing in the future of the country by sponsoring girl education. That's it. Thank you.